Testing, testing. Just wondering if anybody can hear me okay. Testing. Just wondering if anybody can hear me okay. Welcome to the MACKEM CABBIE Premier League show on this Monday. Hello to Ian Brown. There was no video today, just purely because of the fact of me bandwidth isn't strong enough. The Wi-Fi isn't the best down here in Devon, so it's just audio only, but it works just as well. Hello David Walker, hello Peter Wynne, how are you lot doing? Are you okay? Good to see you in. So just be with me, just be patient if it like cuts out now and again the audio, but it shouldn't. So hello Maureen Johnson, how are you? You're okay? Are you well? That's good to see you in. But yeah, once again it just shows you how far away we are with technology, doesn't it? Because we're in the year 2025 and there's still a massive struggle to get the get internet signals, so we're still miles behind. Oh dear. Right, so I don't know if anybody else is going to join me tonight, but they're welcome. If they don't want to, they don't want to. It's absolutely fine. I'm just checking, see if there's anybody wanting to come in. Gary Hoyle says still floating down from cloud 9. However, lads, yeah, it's absolutely mental that, like, innit? Peter Wynne, how you doing, mate? Are you okay? But yeah, just an absolute unbelievable start to the Premier League campaign. That, like, I was not expecting that from a long shot. Nowhere near was I. Checking everybody can hear okay. Is it still buffering? I don't know what's going on. Hello, can everybody still hear okay? Just wondering if anybody can hear me okay. Hello, Malta. How are you? You all right, mate? Just wondering if anybody can hear me okay. Welcome to the MACKEM. So if Malta, I think, has joined us, he needs to turn his microphone on. Should be able to hear us. So there should be a little microphone, Malta. If you click on that, you should be able to chat and we should be able to hear you. Hello, Doggy. You okay, mate? How's things? Hello, Doggy. You okay, mate? How's things?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
Oh, good. So who am I speaking to now?
Malta.
Malta, how are you doing, Malta? Good to hear you, mate. Good to see you.
Really good, Stuart.
Good. I'm glad I've got you. It's just please bear with us a second, like I say, because I'm on holiday and the Wi-Fi is just it ain't the best.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
So that's good. So Malta, welcome along to the channel, mate. It's good to see you're on board.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. To be honest, I've been talking about football my entire life. I should have been on a podcast years ago.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So I don't know if you want to just introduce yourself on the chat on the MACKEM CABBIE show, mate.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Malta. I am a 50-something MACKEM dad. Been going to Roker Park and the Stadium of Light. Season ticket in the North Stand. Massive lads fan. Followed them home and away through all the downs and a couple of ups as well. And just been really excited for this season. The Regis Labrissa's team, the SAFCON boys, Mayenda, Isidore. It's just like it's like a complete new dawn for Sunderland.
It was mad, isn't it? I mean, I just went on Total Sport tonight. They rang us up and I went on and had a crack on with them, and it was surreal to just watch us back in the Premier League. And do you know what amazed me in that game? It's like we hadn't been away. You just could not tell the difference, could you? The sides, you couldn't, and that it was great to see.
Yeah, it was just, you know what it is? It was just like the way that the setup, and you wouldn't think that, okay, yeah, we started with 4 lads who were in the Championship, and then a couple of those lads were in League One as well. You know, and the team, 7 debutants started, 8 debutants finished. You wouldn't think that they've just played 4 or 5 friendlies together. The way they played, the way Xhaka just controlled the game. Everyone was fighting for each other, and it was total non-Sunderland.
Yeah, it was like it was basically like the playoff final all over again, wasn't it? It's like, and I think that's how Sunderland's going to treat every single game in this Premier League. they're going to treat it just like that playoff final, aren't they? Because it just means so
37
much.
cup finals left. Yeah, 37 cup finals left. That's literally what it is. You know, we've already broke one hoodoo of the promoted sides from the last 2 seasons, is that we've won before October, and we've won a game by 3 clear goals, which neither of the promoted sides from the last 2 seasons have done.
Absolutely. So it's just class. And I mean, what did can you remember? What did the three relegated sides in the Premier League? What did they finish on last season?
Well, we're already a quarter of the way towards Southampton's 12-point target. Um, and I'm just trying to think. Ipswich, do you know what it is? They were all cut adrift. It was about 6 games to go, and they were all like just cut adrift, and it was like you knew none of them were just going to do anything. So it was Southampton on 12, and then Ipswich on 22, Leicester on 25, and then Spurs with 38. That's 13 points clear.
It's mental. So what did Leicester was the third place team, weren't they?
Yeah, Leicester were third place.
And what was their
6
final
wins,
total?
7 draws. 6 wins, 7 draws, 25 defeats, and 25 points.
25 points. So there we go. That I mean, look, that's a sort of rough-ish total that you need to aim for, doesn't it? I mean, it sounds mad
No, we
saying it.
need to aim. We really need to aim for. So, one of the sort of anchors of teams who've survived is to have 11 points after 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
If any team that got 11 points after 10 games has stayed up in the last 6 or 7 seasons. So, I'm sure Regis Lebris has told the lads, this is what our target is. They will be taking every game just as a single game. He will change the tactics, he'll change the side, he'll change the formation. And, our goal this season is to stay up. That's our goal as fans. I don't think that's what Regis Lebris's goal is, and I don't think that's what Kirill's or Christian Speakman's or Gosolfi's goal is either.
I think that's a great attitude to have because you didn't want to be. Imagine having that mental attitude, like we're the whipping boys. Mental attitude is like, oh, we're already beat before a ball's kicked. Let's have the attitude to turn some heads. It's like, yeah, why can't we just make ourselves, finish a hell of a lot more than just the bottom three? Do you know what I'm saying? Why not?
Yeah, I think, again, this is just from a Regis Lebris's point of view. He'll be targeting 40 points and he'll want to be safe from relegation 4 or 5 games before the end of the season, because then he can show the powers that be that I have kept this team up, right? And, I'm sure as we'll do 2 or 3 signings and or loans at the December, January window as well. And then KLD, he's found his mom's Amex. He spent, 170 odd million. His mom might just open the door to his debit card soon.
It's nuts, isn't it? I'm just going to say hello to people in the chat that's joined us. David Walker says, so great to have Mienda and Isidore off the mark in the Premier League. Should give them so much more confidence. David Joblin says, hello, everybody. Gary says, hello. He says, how you jollies going? Hello to Dougie Stewart, the moderator of the channel. Susie Forrester says, evening, Cabbie. I'm still buzzing. My throat's still sore. Lost my voice and loving every minute of it. Unreal atmosphere. Andrew Mewett says, still buzzing. Kingfisher says, hi, Cabbie. He says, the guys really hope we get these 2 new players. Please like and subscribe. Thanks, man. Shout out to KLD, says Susie. Still not come down from the high after that great win, says Dougie. Galactus Herald says, thanks for the stream on Saturday. You're welcome, Galactus. Gary Hoyle says, yeah, what about match of the day and Quiet Man Shearer? No analysis whatsoever. Did you watch that, Malta?
Oh, I did. Do you know what it is? I watched Match of the Day for the first time in with skin in the game for years. It's like last couple of seasons I've not really watched it because the Mags have been winning games, and before that I would never watch Match of the Day if we lost. I just wouldn't watch it. But I was just so eager to watch it. And Shearer, for those of people who pay the license fee, right? You're paying to have a objective set of match analysts, right? Ruby and Shearer and Gabby Logan, right? And in the past, before we went down, Shearer threw us the odd compliment, when we won a game here and there. But his bitterness has just like embroiled itself. He didn't want to see us promoted. They've had a pretty poor transfer window. No wonder Isaac wants to go. And it's the whole, the Geordies, Shearer, and like Ant and Dec, whenever they're on the television. Not that I watch them, but there's always, you'll see a tweet or an Instagram as that, they threw in a joke about Sunderland. May change the record.
Well, I mean, look, I'm like you. I've not really. Oh, hello, Colin Major. How are you, mate? Good to see you. I mean, Colin, he's just popped in as well. I've never watched Match of the Day for a long time. And look, I tuned in the same as you, right? Now, you mentioned a good point there about your license fee that you're paying, right? Whether Alan Shearer's a Geordie or not, right? He's got to be on that show, and he's got to be professional about it and get on it as a neutral. That's what he has to do.
He does.
Do you know what I'm saying? I've done it on this. Do you know what I mean? I've done it on this when sometimes I get the Newcastle fans coming in on the channel after they've won, like they won the League Cup and stuff. And being a host and I've got my own show, I turned around and I says, oh, well, Newcastle thoroughly deserved it. They totally outplayed Liverpool for the most of the second half. I didn't sit there and say an out. Do you know what I mean? Even if your gut feelings, you're gutted that your rivals are doing well. Do you know what I mean? If you're in the public eye or whatever, put that on hold and just put yourself as a neutral perspective and be professional about it. And I don't think I'll be watching Match of the Day again because I thought the analysis were absolutely shocking. The match seemed to be over within 2 minutes.
But we were on first. Well, we were on first, which was a good thing. But the thing is, how they choose the games. So if a TV game at lunchtime or a TV game at 5 o'clock, they are never going to be on first on Match of the Day because the likelihood is people have sat, watched them at home, watched them at pub, right? So that's why the 3 o'clock game is always going to be the first game. And then of the 3 o'clock games, ours was by far and away the biggest upset. I'm sure the bookies would have been crying on Saturday night with Mayenda scoring first and Isidore scoring, right? Sunderland, the rank outsiders. That guy who's got the grand on at 25-1 on Sunderland to finish in the top half of the table. He'll be thinking, hey, it could happen. He might have done it in a drunken stupor, or he might have done it, on the way home from Wembley. But now he's probably thinking, God, could we onto something here?
Yeah, absolutely. It's no, I just thought, we'll Match of the Day, and like I say, again, spitting the me out. It's gone right downhill. I mean, look, whether you like or love Gary Lineker, I preferred it when the likes of Lineker was on, Ian Wright was on, Michael Richards, and there was a few of them.
I like Ian Wright and I like Lineker, and I think what I'll probably more be doing is tuning into the CBS stuff, because a lot of that comes up on YouTube as well, because CBS, they've got the US rights, and then I'll watch it on Sky. I'll watch the highlights on Sky, and then the club put out extended highlights as well. I'll watch that.
It was just painful to watch. I mean, even Wayne Rooney, it was just like you were falling asleep listening to him, and it was just so dull. I mean, it felt when we watched like Sunderland first on Match of the Day, it felt like we were on last because the fact it was just so quick, so rushed, and I just thought, R.I.P. Match of the Day. I don't think you've got long left since Lineker's broadcasting mic. I honestly believe that Match of the Day has really, really had its day, and that's how I felt with it. I mean, I watched the Monday night leading up to the game tonight, and Phil Neville and Jamie Carragher had a proper breakdown of the Sunderland game against West Ham, and it knocked Match of the Day out the water.
But the thing is, them two guys, I can sit and watch Neville and Carragher all day long,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just waiting for when Keane gets on for one of our games.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be great watch, great
Oh, well.
entertainment,
But
right?
you think
Um,
with the
and
match of the days lot though, you think they would get somebody with a personality. I mean, Wayne Rooney's he's got any personality. I don't know who's picking
like,
these people like on, but that wasn't good viewing. And to be quite honest with you, I knocked it off after the Sunderland game. I didn't watch the rest. I just
look at
thought,
that straight away. Straight away. I mean, the thing is, on like I recorded it on Sky and then I watched it afterwards, because I thought, oh, we'd probably be on third or something, right? And I don't really want to watch the other matches. But on first, but even on the Sky recording, it didn't have Gabby Logan on. It didn't have Shearer on. It didn't have Rooney on. It still had Gary Lineker on. Match of the day. The picture was Gary Lineker on Sky.
yeah,
Maybe they're just doing that to want BBC.
I didn't know. It's, I mean, do you know when? I mean, it would be a shame at the end of the day. Because Match of the Day has been like the flagship program, but they're not doing themselves any favors with going with the presenters and who they are. Like I say, if Sunderland won 10 out next week, I don't think I'd be in a rush to watch it. Match of the Day, I really, really didn't. Because, I mean,
No, I think I'd wait for the extended highlights from the club,
extended highlights from
and
the
then
club.
from Sky.
You got Total Sport. You've got, like I say, even listening to BBC Radio 5 Live. There's loads of analysis you can get of the Sunderland match without watching that dreary drab on the
But I know,
BBC.
to be honest, it's like I've been used to Total Sport. I always listen to Benno and Barnesy, great crack. And like I listen to Talk Sport because there's a couple of Sunderland fans on there as well. And you've got the guy on Five Live who does the Saturday morning. He's a Sunderland fan. So you've got a reasonable spread. And did you see? Remember Crosby? So Crosby's daughter, she does the commentary in Dubai, and she presents the football, one of the football shows in Dubai on beIN Sports, and they've got video of her, and it's on YouTube when Sunderland scored, and she just went absolutely mental. I'll send you the link, and you can put it on the channel. But and she was born in Sunderland, and she's just a massive Sunderland fan. And that's who we need. We need somebody like her. And she does all of like Premier League games. But see, I mean, Gabby Logan, she's a mag, but she didn't like have her mag tinted spectacles on.
Because she's professional, and it's as simple as that. I mean, it's not a hard thing to do to say, like, if I was on Match of the Day giving an analysis and say Sunderland had a stinker, they lost 3-0, Newcastle beat Man City 4-0. Do you know what I mean? You say what you see. How hard can it be to say what you see? Whether a team dominated and how well they played. You can say what you want off air, like the jammy black and white, you know what I mean? But it's just awful. It is.
True.
Gonna read some more stuff.
Anyway, I think they've given enough airtime to Alan Shearer and Match of the Day. Shall we get another match?
We certainly will. I'm just going to read some more comments as well. Oh, and you're absolutely right. Let's stop talking about Alan Shearer, says Andrew. Did anyone really expect he'd say anything good about us? Absolutely not, says Andrew. Kingfisher says, was there really a punch up in the dressing room and Potts had to make his own way home? I didn't hear that, no. Gary Hoyle, after all these cynics predicting relegation, we were straight out the blocks with a fighting chance already. I mean, look, there is a long way to go. We all know what we think of Alan Shearer, says Carl Stewart. Stephen says Leeds are all over Everton at the minute. Colin Major says, get Big Davey on when he's better. He will get the viewers back on. He's amazing, Big Davey. We hope he does get better and feel well soon. There's 29 people on it, still a decent, but there's probably not as many on because the fact I haven't got my video on. People like to see people on the show, but because me the bandwidth of the Wi-Fi isn't the best. If I put my video on, it will just kill the stream completely. Paul Stratton, Coventry fan, good to see you in, mate. He says, what a superb win, and even more incomings. Respect to all you Mackems for the tribute before the game was outstanding. Yeah, and a good win for you lot as well, coming back for that against Derby. Andrew Miller says, for balanced match of the day, at least had Guy Mowbray commenting on us, and he's a Sunderland through and through.
I,
Used to cover games for Radio Newcastle with Eric Yates. I didn't know that.
oh yeah. You know what it is? He was great commentator for us on Radio Newcastle. He was really good. And then from us, and then he went to ITV, and then he started doing some when ITV had their Champions League games. He started doing then, and then his career's progressed and progressed and progressed. But he's a great commentator and a proper big lads fan as well.
Aye. So can you see the summer? She's just shouting. I'm just on my stream. I don't know what she's after. Sorry, it's my daughter was shouting. But yeah, everybody's 100% right with Alan Shearer and all that. I mean, but hey, we're just I just don't know where to start with the lads. That was just.
Let me start because I was at the game. So before the game, the team bus came along, and it was like so many people milling around, all the way from the tavern all the way to the main entrance, and it wasn't as many as the Coventry match because this is Wearside. I think the call sort of went out late on Friday. If it had went out earlier in the week, you would have got a lot more people turning up. But it was still great. The bus, the new wrap, it looks fantastic, and everybody was smiling. The sun was shining, and just everybody was in just such a great mood. And I go in through turnstile 31 in the North Stand, and like when I'd been to a couple of the friendlies in the pre-season, and like we had the massive queues, and I thought, oh, is it going to be like that again? But it wasn't. It wasn't at all. It was just dead easy. I got in. There was like 6 or 7 people in my turnstile in front of us. Me and a lad who had sorted out my uncle's ticket, and he came with us, and our kid was already inside. I went inside, and already the atmosphere was building. You could just feel it. And then, Dance of the Night comes on. And I think it's the first time in many, many years where they've played the full track of Dance of the Night. And it was just getting the hairs on the back of your neck. And you were just thinking, oh my God. And then the advertising hoardings, Premier League, going around the stadium. I was thinking, oh my God, we're back in the Premier League. It's not a dream. And then, everybody was in on time. The tifo was great. The Lambton Worm, oh man, I love it. Proper. They've really tapped into, what the Sunderland fans are into, what we're like. Tifo was great. I think we need to do more tifos throughout the season. And it was just a fantastic atmosphere. Everybody was in full voice, and you could hear we're including before the game.
Yeah, it was. Funny you should say that. I mean, I always like when Sunderland win, they do really well. I always look on YouTube, looking from the West Ham perspective, and you always get the away fans that do the vlogs from the away end, and I love it when they show you like the goals from the way end perspective because they're all sitting still and there's this huge roar. It's amazing. You should watch them on YouTube if you already do. You probably do, but
Definitely.
Oh, it's class. And there's this West Ham fan on, right? And there's a period in the game where the West Ham fans are singing, "Is this a library? Is this a library?" Right? The stadium are like. Fast forward the match. After we're 2-0 up, 3-0 up, whatever you want to call it. And the guy that was talking on his microphone, he turned his camera around to himself and he was trying to chat about what was going on. You couldn't hear him. You couldn't hear him because the noise in the stadium was completely outdoing him. You couldn't hear. All you heard was just Sunderland roaring around all over the place. The noise at the stadium alight. And when he walked out the stadium, he says, "My apologies." He says, "For the last half of that video," he says, "you just couldn't hear me speak because of the absolute noise and carnage in that stadium." And I just thought that was so funny because the West Ham fans were singing, "Is this a library?" private to it, and I just thought, yeah, that's the Sunderland. That's Sunderland through and through, innit? And it was just class. And I totally agree with you about with the noise and the atmosphere and the beautiful sunny day, the brand new pitch, which you do get the feel for the first game of the season. Without doubt, the crowd played their part, didn't it?
Oh, well, the thing is, do you know, like, first half, it was a little bit subdued. West Ham fans in full voice, obviously, I mean, they've only got like one song, right? But so everybody knows their one song. They were in full voice, and I mean, I'm right below the, what do you call it, the West Ham fans. And so, maybe in the South Stand, you probably might not have been able to hear them as well. But the second half comes around, and when we just started going mental, right? And Sunderland Towards I, all the songs were coming out, right? And that just like lifted the side, and the 12th man came into effect. And it coincided. If you watch the whole game back, and you will see 2 or 3 minutes before our goal, and then like the crowd really just starts, everybody's singing, right? And then we'll score. And oh man, I mean, we couldn't believe it. My end, I just like, oh, it was just like, if you couldn't have written it better, if you would a script, what would be the perfect start for Sunderland? It would be playoff hero, big man, my ender, on the end of a what do you call it, header, getting the first Premier League goal at the Stadium of Light in 8 years.
I listened back because it was on BBC Radio 5 Live as well, and the magnificent Ian Dennis, Pat Nevin was doing the commentating on it, and when Mienda's goal went in, the shockwave of noise. Now I ain't saying this just because I'm a biased Sunderland fan. I haven't heard out like that. I've listened to loads of games on 5 Live, but when that goal went in, when Mienda scored it, the noise, that roar, it was like, if you, I'll send you the link to it. Listen to it, because I put it up on, I think I put it up on my YouTube channel actually. But the noise.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
The first goal
so
went
in the mail.
Eh?
In the Daily Mail, somebody sent us a snippet from the Daily Mail. Apparently, the commentators couldn't hear anything through the headphones because the noise level was so loud when we scored.
It's absolutely.
And that was just like, yeah, man, that's us.
I mean, no, it's Leeds 0, Everton 0. Someone's asking, yeah, it's 28 minutes gone. Apparently, Leeds are all over Everton, but it's a score that matters. Gary Hoyle says, yeah, atmosphere was electric. Colin Major, he says, hi, they weren't blowing bubbles on Saturday. Andrew Moore, didn't Gatey get into trouble for telling some fan off to F off in the air? I'm not. Well, there was something, I don't know exactly what it was. Stephen says there was one Sunderland fan doing star jumps at the West Ham fans on one of those vlogs. Do you remember the 92 Cup Run final commentary? I do. I remember everything about that magic year that was.
I'd still play it back to you from memory, right?
Aye.
And the best goal in that 92 Cup final was Gordon Armstrong, right? Anton Rogan pings the ball downfield. Every Sunderland player in the Chelsea half, right? And then Armstrong, Gordon Armstrong. Oh my God, man. It was just like, I mean, I was at the match, but then afterwards, because those were the days when I used to get my sister to record the match commentary on the old radio, and then I'd listen back to them, because obviously at the match, we were at the match, But it was just great. Like, it was just, those commentaries were great, and I think we're going to get some more commentaries like that. So I don't know if you've heard. So if you're listening to Total Sport, and when they played the commentary, and Benno and Nick Barnes both at the same time shout "Isidore" in like unison. when Isidore scored, and it was just like it was great. So the game after the first goal, you could see Xhaka. He was totally controlling the game. He was shouting. He was telling players, and like being our kid, we were saying, "Oh man, get it up, man, get it up." And then Xhaka was saying, "No, no, few little triangles here, lads. We're gonna control the ball. We're gonna control the game. None of this. Get it up, get it forward, and then lose the ball, and then lose the ball on the counter attack. None of that. Honestly, it was great watching an actual world class player playing for Sunderland in my lifetime. And I mean, yes, we have had Super Kevin Phillips, right? But he was also playing for Sunderland at a time when we had, a certain Dirty Geordie playing for England up front and plenty of other strikers playing for England at the time. And then he went to Palace after us. He didn't really go to a big club. But to see someone like Granit Xhaka, just like, and Diarra was amazing. Ronaldo had a great game. And just the defense was just like, oh my God, man. And Talby, that just all of the new players and the existing players. I mean, Ballard's just like a rock. And I remember when we signed Ballard, and my mates who are Arsenal fans said, you have got some player. He is going to be a future England international, and you just watch. And I had a few texts on what do you call it? Actually, after the playoff semi-final against Coventry, and like 11 o'clock, I still hadn't nobody. I don't think nobody had left Sunderland at 11 o'clock after the Coventry game because we knew we were going to Wembley, and I was getting texts from the Arsenal lads. Oh, Dan Ballard, by the way, can we have him back? So the Ballard goal from the Roker end, and again the new defender is it Alderete, the guy who we got from.
Is that the guy that came on and replaced Sealed?
Yes, yeah.
Aye,
I
that's
mean,
right.
I'd heard that before. He actually is quite an attacking player, right? What was his first touch? A Cruyff turn in his
He
own
was
box. It was just like,
he was he was
Rolls Royce.
amazing. Yeah, it was just it's look. I don't want like to say sorry, Big Davy, but he obviously didn't get carried away. But obviously we didn't want to. But we're only just saying what we experienced and what we watched.
Just from one game. This is just one game, a game at a time. This game was just a fantastic game. It was perfect, and like so, Roof, because where I'm in the north stand, I'm like about 40 rows from the front, and oh my God, watching Roof's second half performance, and then we started singing "The Roof is on fire." And that's his new chant, "The Roof is on fire." And he was great and commanded his box, and he came and he didn't miss punches. When he came for the ball, he got the ball, he made contact, he was shouting at his defenders, he was shouting at the players. And, and then when Isidore came on, I said to our kid, I said, Isidore's going to score. He says, we're 2-0, man, but Isidore's not going to score. I says, they're not, that you watch. And Isidore's goal, it was a carbon copy, from when he got the ball of the goal he scored. He scored that goal twice last season. He's cut in from that left-hand side.
Yeah.
He went diagonally across, and he's went across the goalkeeper. And it was just like, and he said in his interview, I had no thing about passing. I was going to score. His Premier League debut scores, Mayenda's Premier League debut scores, Ballard. And Ballard said, oh, yeah, well, we've been practicing these crosses in, right? And all through the game, whenever we were getting corners, the West Ham players were getting on Ballard because they're probably having nightmares of seeing the Ballard, what's that? The deck chair, the Ballard deck chair impression when he scored against Coventry, right? So they're thinking, well, he's going to be dangerous in the box on corners. And just the way we played, it was so refreshing to watch a Sunderland side play like that.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely breathtaking. When it's just, It's just absolutely class. I'm just going to read some more comments out on the chat because our viewers are important. Paul Stratton says, "CABBIE take the win." He says, "We are still way off last year." He says, "Hope your form continues. You look light years in front of Burnley and Leeds already. Take care. Catch you later." Yeah, good win for you, Paul. Take it easy, mate. Cheers for popping in. Andrew says, "More than once Gatey arguing with opposite fans. Sat near to them whilst live on the air. Great times." David Water, Guy Mowbray and Gatey was on Metro Radio when they had the SAFC commentary and were the best commentary team for us. Galactus says, "Love the account of leading up to the match. The whole experience, I think, beforehand and lead up is improving." Stephen says, "There was one Sunderland fan doing..." Yes, read that one. Atmospheres Electric says Gary. David Graham says, "Leeds United doing okay." Yeah, they are doing okay at the minute. David Graham, by the way, Middlesbrough were doing okay in the Championship at the moment. 2 out of 2. Can Berra come to the Premier League next season? For possible 3 North East giants in the top flight. Long way to go though. Obviously, you must be a Middlesbrough fan. I mean, look, I think the Premier League's a better Premier League when if you've got the 3 North East teams in there. I just think it creates so much more banter. It makes it a better league as well. David Graham also says both Sheffield sides are struggling at the moment, and hopefully they can turn
You know what?
things around.
It's lovely seeing Sheffield United in the bottom 3 after them giving it the big in, and then their manager got the boot, and they've lost their first 2 opening games. Things I like to see.
Yeah, I know, but look, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Look, I think their biggest mistake, I know it's a Sunderland podcast, this, but you know, I've also talked about other teams briefly as well. But I think they've dropped the clang of getting rid of Wilder. I really do.
Yeah, they did. The 100% did.
And I think with that man in charge, I don't think Sheffield United are going to get anywhere near the top half of the Championship. I really didn't. I mean, you could almost see the body language with the players that they're not up to it with this man in charge. They should have kept with Wilder, and I'm not even a Sheffield United fan, but anybody can see that, you know. So it just goes to show you, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, when he got sacked, I was very shocked because he took his team, you know, to within minutes of promotion, right? You know, they finished, you know, there were quite a few points ahead of us in the playoffs, right? And with some reasonable additions, and then obviously you don't have us, you don't have Leeds, you don't have Burnley, but Ipswich and Southampton, not so much Leicester. You know, you're thinking, yeah, you know, they've got a really good chance. And then Wrexham, they've lost their first 2 games as well. I noticed that off the table when I checked that yesterday. But again, I think the Championship is going to be very, very difficult, very competitive. It's still the hardest league in the world to get out of. And I'm glad we got out of it last season, because this season I think it's going to be even more difficult. Ipswich and Birmingham, Stephen, to get automatic promotion. Yeah, I think that as well, to be honest.
Oh,
and
can you actually see the chat okay, can you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've got the chat on
brilliant.
as well. Yeah. So, yeah, I really hope Ross Stewart gets back in the goals, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you're right. The Championship is just absolutely huge. And I just think, you know, God, who's the Wrexham manager again?
Oh, it's our old manager, man. It's what's he called again?
Parkinson.
Parkinson, aye.
I think he's been sort of, you know, hiding behind the success a little bit. The League Two and League One, and I think the Championship's going to be a step too far for him. I really do. I'm not saying he's of course he has. He's done well, but I think he'll be found out in the Championship, and I think they will. We're going in the hot tub. Oh, 2 seconds. Right. I think he'll find his limit, and I think the owners and stuff will be quickly jump on it. They'll realise, like Phil Parkinson, he's not the guy to take us up from the Championship. And I think
So I think if they're not in the top 6 after 10 games, he'll be out on his year.
Yeah. Parkinson Championship is awful.
Yeah, after 10 games, they are, they're ruthless owners. They know how big that. I mean, they could be the biggest team in Wales, right? And I mean, people actually are going to Wrexham from America. It's like it's weird. I've not watched This Is Wrexham or whatever the equivalent of Sunderland Till I Die is. But I was listening to something on the radio a few weeks ago, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, people come to Wrexham." What? Okay, but so they're tapping into something, which is good. It'd be good to see them, because I mean we've got 9 trips or something to London this year for away games, and the south, Bournemouth and Brighton, and 7 trips to London, right? It'd be good to get a little bit more northernish teams. I mean, not that Wrexham's an easy away trip, but so the difficult question of the day, Matt and Cabby, man of the match. Well, if you're going to your head, man of the match.
Who would have picked man of the match? Ballard, without a shadow of a doubt.
Same, absolutely. He was great. He's now surrounded by players who are at the level and the potential where he can get to, and will also improve him as well. Because again, and I think the same goes for Mayenda, and the same goes for Isidore. Defenses in the Premier League are very different, because in the Championship you can get away with so much stuff. There's no VAR, and we know from the League One and the Championship refereeing standard, it's bloody ridiculous.
I know. I'm just going to give a shout out to Ken Walton, who's just popped in. He's a member of the channel. Stephen says for Parkinson, he says his record in the Championship is 26 wins, 37 draws, and 78 losses. But yeah, David Grims also says Ballard for that header of the second goal, man of the match. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't think that was special enough, that header against Coventry, it's just such an unreal player, and he just seems to be getting better and better and better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that goal, that Juve. Well, that shot, should I say, what Juve did?
The Diarra or Juve, the West Ham one.
The West Ham.
That he cleared off the line.
Aye. Well, it was like not so much cleared off the line, but it was heading in towards the goal. The keeper was beat.
It was going in. That was a certain goal he stopped.
And if you look at the replay of that, it shows you it slowly. He's turning away to celebrate, and then at the last minute, Ballard comes in. No, you're not. It was class, and I couldn't believe even the fans were going like ole, ole, ole. I was like,
oh yeah, that's what we were doing. That we were doing the ole. It was just like Sunderland ole in the Premier League. And I mean, like I want to get onto Regis's backroom staff that he's brought in. We've got this new assistant in. We've got the set piece coach in, right? And I think it might have been Jamie Carragher who had said a few seasons ago, any promoted side needs to really take advantage of set pieces. And, because what did we go something like 4 years without scoring from a corner?
Mm-hmm.
It was something ridiculous. The way the team set up, the way they were at corners. And it's not just attacking corners, it's also defending. Set piece coach also coaches them from set pieces for defending. And like if you look at, if Arsenal were ever to win the title, it would be their set piece coach who should be going up and lifting the Premier League, because the amount of corners that they score from, it's like you don't want to give Arsenal a corner because you've got, a ridiculously high chance of them actually scoring. And the cross came in it wasn't from Jagger, it was from a defender.
Aye, absolutely.
So I think, Regis, Speakman, Gasolfi, et al., they've all done a fantastic job. They've gelled the team. They're getting more playing into a way, and in the comments it's saying we've not fully gelled yet. We haven't. This was our first proper competitive 90. Yes, they had almost the same 90 against was it not Strasbourg? It was Augsburg. But this was it. This was the real I am. This is what we're playing for. This is what the pre-season's for. This is why we've got all the new players in and the new backroom coaches, and just keep it going, lads. Keep this going. There are going to be games where we will get tonked, right? But again, I think with players like Xhaka in the side and Diarra, will always be up for holding the defence. And we scored from an opposition's corner. I can't remember the last time we scored from an opposition's corner, because that happens to us, just like it happened in the playoffs.
Yeah, totally agree. Hello to Steve Austin, the Devon Mackham. Just popped in. Good to see you. I hope Michael Oliver is banned from refereeing Sunderland games, says Stephen. How many Sunderland fans will be at Turf Moor on Saturday? I wonder, says David. Stephen says 0-0 between Everton and Leeds. David Graham, by the way, folks, it's bank holiday weekend this weekend. Well, I'm on holiday anyway. So, it's, how do you do the time? I actually get a break when I go back to work. Oh, dear me. But yeah, it's great. I mean, I was on Total Sport today. Don't know if you heard us on, but I was saying, like, we've got to be careful the Burnley game. We didn't want to be too cocky. There's already Sunderland fans saying it's going to be a walk-off. We'll take the mick against Burnley. It's not going to be the case, mate. We're going to have to be as professional as ever, and treat the game like every game. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as an easy game. If we get to Burnley thinking like, oh, don't need to try as hard because it's only Burnley, we'll get kicked. It's these banana skins.
No, you know what? He will take every game on its own merit, right? And he will look at every game individually. And you know what it is? Even at 2-0, Xhaka wasn't celebrating. Regis Lebris wasn't celebrating at 2-0, because they know how quick you can throw away a lead in the Premier League and how quick teams can change. So it was none of that, and it was only the third game. The third goal is when what do you call it? We really saw them celebrating, because it was 92nd minute, and it was, we were there, but it was just great to see. And another thing, for those who weren't at the match, will be happy to hear, is we were Sunderland till the end. Hardly anybody got up and left, and the stadium was in full voice at full time. Wise men say the players were getting cheered. Nobody wanted to go home. Everybody wanted to absorb the atmosphere. It was buzzing and it was great. And, people were singing and they were cheering. There's a couple of lads in front of us doing some very funny, questionable dancing. And, like, for those of you who went under the Keane era, we were notorious for scoring late goals. Nobody left under the Keane era, because if Keane saw you, he's pretty smacky one, right? But we always used to score late goals, and we want to get that. That's one of our arsenal. That teams will be thinking, "Oh crap, man,
Yep.
Sunderland, they like scoring a late goal."
Not at all. Hello, Stephen Taylor. He's popped into the chat. Hi, guys. Just in from work. what a performance and what a result on Saturday. Yeah, just heard you on Total Sports, says Dougie. Yeah, David Graham, Spurs are 5-3 up in stoppage time against the under 21s, I believe. Ogunsui gets a hat-trick. He's going to be one for the future, I would say. Yeah, David Graham, apparently, according to Flash Scores, Samuel Ogunsui has scored a hat-trick. And Dougie has put as well, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. So we've got about 8 minutes left. We'll have a bit crack on about. Have you heard about the two potential signers we could be sort of linked with? The Leicester City fella and that John Lusumi again?
Oh, well, Lusumi, I think, is going to be an absolutely rock solid signing for us, right? He's really strong defender, and he is definitely the Gasol feet, Regis Lebris mode of player who is established, strong, tall, fast, and wants to come because we are now the project. You know, I never thought we'd be able to attract players like this, established players, right? You know, league champions, people who have played 30, 40, 50 games in the Champions League, actually coming to newly promoted Sunderland. And the Leicester as well. He doesn't want to stay because you've got a World Cup next year, right? He doesn't want to stay in the Championship in a World Cup year, right? He wants to get out of the Championship, right? Leicester, all they're doing is they're saying, oh, look, newly rich Sunderland, right? Oh, yeah, we'll just push them for a little bit more.
Yeah, good.
KLD will just pull up in his private jet and say, here's my Amex, just charges what you want. We're taking this lad home. You know, he can play on both wings. Great. You know, that's what I like to see. I like to see players who have got a set play, but are also very adaptable and can play in a couple of positions. It helps us in squad depth, right? You know, because what happens if, you know, we get an injury and then they can switch out to the other flank. So I think they're both great signings. And yeah, exactly. Fabrizio Romano, Andrew Moore, Lucemi, I don't know how to pronounce it, but he's in. I think he'll be in. Just like, you know, we're keeping a lot of our business very quiet. I mean, I woke up this morning and was it this morning? Oh, no, it was yesterday. I woke up yesterday morning. Oh, I said, oh, Sunderland signed a new player. I said, what? She says, oh, yeah. Sunderland signed a new player.
Brilliantly put, Malta. Quality. So before we go, and I'll just say there's 27p in the chat today. We usually have about nearly 100, but because I've not got the video on, perhaps there's a match on as well. So I don't know whether I'll be changing me Monday night show to Tuesday night show because the fact there's not usually a Premier League game on a Tuesday. So I might have a rethink and put the show on a Tuesday instead of a Monday because there's always a game on a Monday night. So I'll have a rethink on that one. Burnley. So we're going to have predictions, said Stephen Taylor. I'm going to stick my net out. Nobby's being too cocky. I'm going to go on Sunderland 3-0 at Burnley. What about you, Malta?
I'm going 2-0 because Burnley had, I think, 26 clean sheets last year. Yes, they got tonked in their first game. And I think away from home, Regis Lebris will play maybe a slightly different system. He's taken every game as it comes, and he's taken every side on their merit.
Do you think your point will be a good result?
You know, a point would be a good result, but actually, we've got a target against the Burnleys, the Brentfords, you know, Bournemouth, West Ham's, Fulham. We've got a target, the sides which Regis Lebris will think that these guys are actually just on a par, or we're on a par with them, and they are beatable, right? Yeah, you know, teams like Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, you can sort of write them off in your predicted points total. But if you get anything from them, you know, it could be a result. And again, in the Premier League, we've seen it. There's always weird upsets. You know, we could do a couple of those weird upsets.
Yeah, certainly could.
Yeah, Gary Hoyle, that's right. Burnley have lost Trafford. He was the only reason why we didn't beat them down there, and also Isidore's lack of penalties. But yeah, I think 2-0. 2-0 to the lads. Great away goal. Great 2 away goals. I'm hoping we'll get like a Jack free kick or something, and another goal for Mayenda to keep him running, you know, and a clean sheet as well. New lads in, clean sheet. Let's just keep it going, one game at a time.
These games, Malta, like you've mentioned, the likes of your Burnley, no disrespect to them, and your Brentfords or whatever, they're potentially 6-pointers already, aren't they?
Oh, well, they are. I mean, Brentford, you know, they got tonked from Forest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Burnley got beat as well. You know, I mean, we're even above. Like, I saw my nephews before the podcast, and they're Man U fans, and I says, "Oh, we're above you in the table. Like, you know, you might not catch for this season."
Gary Hoyle says 2-0 Sunderland. Harry Nicholson says 2-0 Sunderland v Burnley. I don't know if it's 2-0. I think he means 2-0 Sunderland. How Harry?
It's 2-0.
Aye, absolutely. Andrew Moore 2-0 as well at Burnley. And great crack, Malta, says Gary. Yeah, we're just about coming to the end of the show. Have you enjoyed your first show, Malta?
Oh yeah, I love it. Like I say, Stuart, I can talk football and I can talk Sunderland till the cows come home. You know, it's like all of my day, all day long. All Lass will tell you is I'm just listening to
podcasts
and listening to YouTubes about football, listening to just that's all I do while I'm working.
I'm really pleased that you've joined the MACKEM CABBIE team, mate. And like you say, if you just bear with us, I'll be doing another show next Monday, or could be Tuesday if there's any game on. After that,
the Champions League qualifiers, they start this week. There's no English sides in that in the Champions League qualifiers, but you've got, I think, Rangers tomorrow, Celtic the next day.
But rightly so, when there's a Premier League game on, you know, you can understand why there's a lot of people want to watch that than listening to the silly MACKEM CABBIE show. I mean, come on. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's always here for us to watch back. But, you know, I still think the Premier League's a big pull. And
massive pull. It's a massive pull. I mean, I'll be watching second half as soon as I go downstairs.
If I'll be doing a show on Tuesday, it just means a lot of people, I think, will come in on the lives as well. And don't forget, Malta, and listeners as well, or viewers, that there'll just be one more show when I'll be on audio, and then I'll be back to normal in my studio. I'll have the video on, so we'll be able to see everybody's faces and this and that and the other. So it's a better setup when people can see who you're talking to. But I have to make do with what I've got at the minute, and that's like wood pigeon Wi-Fi, so I cannot. So Malta, it's been a pleasure. You've done a fantastic job, mate. Hope you've really enjoyed it tonight, fella. Enjoyed having you on board, mate.
No, thanks for having us, Stuart. And thanks to everybody, all the listeners, watchers, and the people who will watch it back as well.
Yeah,
and like and subscribe and share.
Thank you. And do you want to do a little plug? Have you got an online store or something, haven't you?
Yeah. So it's MACKEM.shop. MACKEM shop. Just do Sunderland stuff. MACKEM shop on Instagram and MACKEM shop on Facebook as well.
Fantastic. You know where that's at. So I'll let you get back to the second half. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I've enjoyed it. Thanks, Malta, and hopefully there's many more shows to come, and enjoy the rest of your night, fella.
See you, everybody.
All right, cheers. Good night, all. Thank you.
Bye.